This is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Clay McLeod Chapman, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
I'm here for Peter.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Welcome back to another episode, another fun-filled 90s episode of the Ultimate Spider-Cast. I am Phil, joining me, as always, that shadowy figure who uses men for her own means. It is.
Hey y'all, it's Lilith looking Hellfire, and some would say it's hammer time.
Oh! That's right, kids, because you will get some appearances of Justin Hammer here as we cover Amazing Spider-Man 344, 345, 359, 360. Oh, remember last time when we did Chance, we got the first appearances of Venom. Well, you're going to get the first appearances of,
Cletus! Cassidy, that is.
Yes.
DG Chichester, look away. It's okay if you click out. It's okay.
It'd be funny if we had a drop, just funny, and to have the censor bleep in there too, or just DG Chichester going, "Mother beep and Carnage." They let him get away with anything.
He had symbiote privilege. Deal with it.
All right, so let's jump into these, because yes, we do have 4 issues. So, and we love them.
Why is the trivia sucks on this away?
Well, I don't think there was a lot of trivia, but yeah, that's why. All right, so first one, Amazing Spider-Man 344 from February 1991. Yes, kids, I'm old. I read this new. Hearts and Powers.
So close. Hearts and minds.
Yeah, I know. Writer David Michelinie, penciler Eric Larson. Oh, this art's gonna be savage, kids.
Nice.
Inker Randy Emberlin, colorist Bob Sharon, letterer Rick Parker, and editors Jim Salicrup and Dan Cuddy.
Introducing Cardiac.
Slipping past the guards in a warehouse, Spider-Man takes photos of chemicals that are used in the production of cocaine that is being kept there.
You know why? Because everybody loves cocaine.
Everyone loves cocaine.
I think that's the one. He would probably, if he knew that drop was going to outlast him. Oh my god! I think that's the one he didn't want to outlast him. Any other one, he's probably like, yeah, go ahead.
Even the friggin' put on a get mask and murder.
Exactly. I mean, many of the characters in these issues.
Oh, I'm going to wear a gimp mask and murder people.
No matter what, you better stick around for a while with Hellfire. But just think of all the drops. If something happened to you, all the drops that would outlast you.
The Donkey Punch one and Your Mother's a Whore. Those two.
We're gonna remember our
Infinity and Beyond.
We're gonna remember our dear friend today, Lilith Hellfire.
Your mother's a whore.
She was a quiet woman.
Her whole family can suck it.
All right. As the wallcrawler begins taking photos for the Daily Bugle, his spider sense begins going off.
It's ting ting ting-a-lid, ting ting ting-a-lid.
Suddenly, one of the walls blows open, revealing a costume individual calling himself...
Don't you hate it when that happens, boys?
calling himself Cardiac. Here's the gimp mask. The guards open fire, but the bullets bounce off Cardiac's invulnerable hide. He then turns his staff on the barrels of chemicals and blasts them. That's when Spider-Man intervenes. At first, Cardiac is delighted to see a fellow crime fighter, but when Spider-Man points out that he can't just blow up property at a legitimate operation, Cardiac considers the wallcrawler an enemy and tries to blast the hero. Spider-Man dodges the blast.
Hasn't he blown up plenty of private property?
Accidentally.
Sure. And, tracking people is illegal, too, but, villain or criminal or not. So,
Again, Lilith, white man.
Where's his warrant? Well, he ain't got no money. He's broke as a joke.
Yes,
so.
yes.
Peter might want to sit down on that one.
I know. Ew. Spider-Man dodges the blast, and while he's avoiding getting crushed by debris, Cardiac makes his escape. Hearing police sirens, Spider-Man leaves the scene and changes back into Peter Parker. As the officers are cordoning off the area, he meets up with Lilith's favorite reporter, Joy Mercado, and confirms that he managed to get pictures inside. While Peter worries that the coincidence of Spider-Man and Peter Parker being in the same place might compromise his double identity, he put out a book of all the pictures. How is this?
It's like, come on, Pete.
That cat's out of.
Have it both ways.
That cat's out of the bag, Dr. Elias Wortham considers the implications of being cardiac due to his Hippocratic oath as a physician. However, Wortham takes to heart what Spider-Man told him during their battle, that the world is not perfect. The next morning, Mary Jane is just...
Especially not Marvel's New York.
No, because you could be going along your day and all of a sudden you just get stepped on by Galactus or something. The next morning, Mary Jane has just finished acting a scene for her character on the soap opera Secret Hospital. On break, she finds her husband, Peter Parker, has come to bring her breakfast. Peter is glad that the scene which involved Mary Jane kissing a co-star is all part of the script. This causes Mary Jane to feel guilty by the comment, given what almost happened between her and actor Jason Jerome. See what Spectacular Spider-Man.
Almost. Sure. Got one word for you, Bruce.
Oh!
Batman, my favorite character.
What were we talking about the other day?
Secret Hospital ain't paying that well. That's all I'm saying.
What were we saying the other day? It's never just the tip. From the era of one of Ray's favorite arcs, remember Night and Fog?
Oh yeah.
Ray still talks about that. I'm like, oh my god.
He guys enjoyed everything. That's why we love Ray.
I know. Yes. Sweet innocent Ray, finding the joys in everything.
Sex on the mind.
I was gonna say
Sausage. Couple of balls down the gob.
He's like, why am I still here?
I don't have to put up with this.
It's a lot of meat.
He loves it.
I know, he loves the attention.
Rumpy pumpy.
That's the drop that would outlast Ray.
No. You know the one drop. He doesn't want to outlast him.
Batman, my favorite character.
Have him on tape saying that. He don't want that. However, this unease is quickly forgotten as the couple sit down to eat. Just like Lilith Hellfire discovered through trial and error. All misdeeds are quickly forgiven over an Egg McMuffin.
It's a formula.
Hey-o. Meanwhile, at Wortham Tower, Elias checks his schedule for the day. Learning that he has a charity function to attend that evening, he tells his secretary to cancel the appearance as he has more pressing matters to attend to. Entering his office, he remembers the vow that he made to someone special that set him on this course to take preventative measures to stop those whose illegal activities are ignored, hence his attack on the Spurdine Chemicals warehouse the night before. He intends to use his newfound powers to right these sorts of shady operations. A costume figure with a dead relative. Get out of town.
That's everybody.
Exactly. Now it is.
That's like named after a real...
Oh,
No.
Burn! Burn!
No, I think it's an allude thing. Okay. I was gonna say, usually we do Magia and Roxanne. So.
At that moment, Justin Hammer is enjoying a tranquil vacation within...
Hammer time. Oh.
Put on the pants, kids. Within his secret facility, hidden within an Arctic iceberg. Lilith is like, damn it, why didn't I think of that first?
I mean, it's just a cheap man's fortress of solitude.
You don't like the cold.
I don't.
He is informed of the financial losses caused by Cardiac's attack on the...
But that's the perfect place.
That's
They're
true.
gonna look for you if they think you hate the cold.
That's true. Attack on the Sapernine Chemicals. Upset at being interrupted, Hammer tells his assistant to send his costume operative, the Rhino, as he has prepared a new suit of armor for the villain.
Cannon fodder go.
That's right, kids. You saw him on the cover, so that was spoiled for you. Everyone's favorite horny villain, the Rhino.
Now, which Rhino you like is, how we truly judge.
Uh,
It's like 2 guys got stuck in a Rhino suit. Really? Okay.
I think the second
All
one.
right.
I think the second one did it on purpose, didn't he?
Yeah, that's smart.
I think this is after
I
the.
mean, if you want to be a real life furry, no judgment. It's fine.
I mean, that's all Spider-Man's rogues gallery is mostly,
Yeah. Scorpion.
and of course, Mr. Tentacle himself.
I don't think those are tentacles.
Vulture.
Even Craven's kind of half.
Black Cat.
Even Craven's kind of half dressed like a lion.
Yeah.
Kangaroo.
His ultimate arch nemesis should be Fly Swatter.
Don't give Zeb Wells any ideas.
Oh wait, we already got the Fly Swatter. It was Kindred. Whoopsie.
Well, at Empire State University, Peter Parker is busy working on a scientific experiment in his advanced chemistry class.
Oh, you're at school. Good job, buddy. You wanted to be a role model this issue. Good for you.
Unfortunately, he is unable to focus on his work, and he realizes that the chemicals he's using were produced by Sapperdine. He decides to look into the company to find out what Cardiac's attack was all about. Later that evening at Riker's Island, Eddie Brock exercises in his cell.
Meathead.
Of course, he's working out. Much to the annoyance of his cellmate, Cletus Cassie, a notorious serial killer. Brock explains that he needs to keep his body in peak physical condition so that he can avenge the death of the symbiote that made him Venom.
Sticks! Damn you, Sticks!
Sticks and Stone, yes, we covered that. And Comic Capers, I believe, so yes.
Yeah.
Go check. So,
Good luck finding that one.
No, easiest way, go to YouTube and search and look at the playlist, kids. They all
do anything for clicks and views.
They all have playlists, kids. Exactly. Who wants to see him? Who wants me to get naked?
I'm telling Danielle.
Oh, please, it makes money. Come on. When Cletus explains that one can do what they want if they have the will to do it, which wearies Brock, who is unhappy with being cellmates with the killer. Looking out the window of their cell, Cletus is frightened by
I mean, not so much. I mean, they're symbiote. It spawned,
Cletus is frightened by something he sees looking in on them. However, when they go for a closer look, there is nothing there.
I mean, they are in prison. They might just be stir crazy.
Oh, yeah. Later, what? A serial killer and basically a psychotic ex-reporter who bonded with an alien? No, get out of town. Later that evening, Spider-Man swings across the city. Along the way, he passes the Osborn Chemical Company, and he briefly wonders what his friend Harry's company does with the chemicals they create. Makes that New York water much more New York, so.
Yeah. Good old Hudson River, boys.
Dad, there's a body in the river. No, son. You see, when the mob kills people, they throw them in the river. Kitzmuller. Soon he arrives at his destination, the Sapperdine Chemical Factory. Also arriving at the scene is Elias Wortham, who changes into his costume inside his van and prepares to attack the facility. When Cardiac gets past the main gates, he's ambushed by the Rhino, who is protecting the facility. Unprepared for an encounter with a supervillain, Cardiac begins to panic. As he flees the Rhino, however, the Rhino rams into the wall, damaging the catwalk that Cardiac has fled to. Spider-Man comes to Cardiac's aid, and when he tries to web up the Rhino, his webbing dissolves once it hits the villain's costume. Just like Scorpions did a few episodes back. When the Rhino charges again, Spider-Man manages to knock over a drum filled with liquid Teflon to trip up his enemy. Gave him the old deal. Slippery escape.
Talk about a slippery slope. Hey-o.
Somebody was greasing those wheels.
I don't think that was grease, but I believe it was water soluble something or other.
Social lubricant? In response, the Rhino pulls free a number of wires and throws them at Spider-Man, forcing the wall crawler to dodge them. Before the Rhino could attack the hero, Cardiac interferes, sending the Rhino crashing through a wall. With the Rhino distracted, Cardiac uses his staff to blast the vat of chemicals he came to destroy, despite the protests
Hit him
from
right in the face with that staff.
You think Spider-Man's just like, no, what do I care? No, Reyes, no.
He hit him right in the face with that sack.
Meanwhile, why the hell is my webbing dissolving?
Almost like there's a connection between Scorpion and Rhino. With the live wire snaking on the ground near the highly flammable chemicals, all the combatants flee the scene just before the chemical plant explodes in 90s fashion. Spider-Man stays on the scene as firefighters arrive. He hopes they can find a clue as to why Cardiac attacked the facility, as he doesn't have any more answers than when he first arrived. When the reports of the incident get to Justin Hammer, he is amused to discover that Spider-Man tried to stop Cardiac and decides to use this to his advantage.
Sure.
So thoughtless.
What is this? What is this? What are we reading, Phil? I don't understand.
I'll tell you what this is. This was the first comic book Robert Kirkman ever bought.
Exactly. That's why I said the trivia. Also, Kevin Smith said he wants a whole box of it. And I'm just like, okay.
I have a copy. Make me an offer, Kirkman.
What condition is it in, Phil?
I mean, it's not perfect. Hey, give us an interview and find out, Kirkman. All right, so thoughts, Lilith?
I literally, like, why does this exist? What is the point of this? Like, it's so weird how like Venom and like, you know, Carnage, like they have these really bad stories that are tied to them, like their first appearance and stuff like that. Like, what is that?
Well, once you get to the first appearance of Carnage, it's basically just, you know, it's like, oh, you think Venom's bad? What if he had absolutely no morals or restraints? That's Carnage.
Serial killer.
I mean, it's so bad, kids. I mean, again, we did that on Comic Capers too. Go check out the YouTube. But I mean, Spider-Man and Venom have to team up to take him down.
Yeah, it's a summer of carnage, I tell you. Maximum carnage, some might say.
It's so funny. I remember too. I was just like, oh, they came up with a second symbiote. Oh, I had no idea.
That was just the beginning.
I know. Oh, especially once
that truly was the year that creativity died at Marvel.
Once those Venom miniseries started rolling out, oh yeah, we kept getting symbiotes and more symbiotes.
Poor baby Toxin, always left out.
I know. And again, I think Cardiac was like a plot point where it's basically just like, well, what's the vigilante line, you know, where you can kind of skirt the law or before you go completely past the law.
I believe DC had their answer literally with vigilante. Okay.
And I also, I'm pretty sure there was probably like a more subtle point of like, oh hey, the American healthcare system sucks ass.
Well, I mean, the 90s actually had it way better than we do right now, but it's always sucked, correct, because it is for profit.
Mm-hmm.
Call me a socialist, but I don't think aspirin at a hospital should cost $120.
No.
That might just be craziness, though. Maybe you like paying $120 for aspirin. I don't know.
Masochist.
Tylenol 3.
Back in my day.
You can literally get codeine over the counter in Canada and Mexico. It's bullshit.
Wow. The move starts to make sense, kids. All right, ready for the next one?
I mean, no, but let's get it done.
Hey. Again, I feel like I'm on a date with Lilith Hellfire.
At that point, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Wow! She's out the window. One of the times being 5'3" comes in handy. She's out the window. All right. Amazing Spider-Man 345, March 1991. Gun from the Heart.
Shut up! No, that's the wrong one.
Same team, except this time we have fill-in penciler Mark Bagley.
Oh, well, you noticed the artwork got just a little bit better.
I wonder if this is the one that got him the job, because he was working on New Warriors, but like he becomes the regular penciler in like 6 more issues. So I wonder if this was just like this was like a tryout, and they're just like, okay, yeah, give him the job.
Probably, because it stands out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Cardiac continues his attacks on Saperdine Chemicals by targeting their main office. He blasts open a safe looking for records. However, he finds none.
Oh no, Boomerang.
Mm-hmm. This is the one we should have did the live read for. Ray, we need you. One of the executives tells him that the CEO, Mr. Sapper, had taken them earlier that morning. Cardiac figures they were taken intentionally after his last attack. Suddenly, the security guards come bursting into the room. Not wanting to hurt them, Cardiac tries to stun them with a blast from his beta-powered pulse staff. I know that.
I get it. Sapper chemicals. It's like Dean is the suffix.
Ah.
From the Greek. Okay, I get it now.
Oh, you mean somebody put a little bit of effort into their stories, unlike that hack, Zeb Wells? I joke. I kid.
Also, it's like a unit of force. Okay, yeah, no. It makes sense. Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, that name was really bothering. Sorry. It's my ADHD,
No wonder Cardiac didn't make it big. This is the 90s already, and he's still using beta. That's an old people's show, kids.
Yeah.
How?
That's what Sony gets for freaking their proprietary stuff. Not trying to make it accessible.
However, with bullets flying all over the office, Cardiac decides to leave the scene to find the information he is looking for and leaps out the window. Quickly getting away, Cardiac slips into the ambulance that he has parked nearby and changes it into his civilian guise of Dr. Elias Wortham. Smart. Yep. As he heads back to the...
you can go in an ambulance. Well, the ambulance doesn't go that fast, but people will stop.
They put the lights on, yeah. As he heads back to the hospital he owns, he fears that his attacks on Sapperdine have caused them to start covering up their ethically questionable business deals.
Said every business
ever
legitimate businessman
ever.
They're just all humble spice merchants, man.
Exactly.
I don't know what to tell you.
Own skyscrapers and hospitals. Meanwhile, Spider-Man is swinging across Queens trying to find some lead on Cardiac. He questions Cardiac's methods of attacking Sapperdine's sale of chemicals to South America. While they could be used to produce cocaine, the chemicals also have a legitimate use, and they can't jump to the conclusion that they are going to be used in criminal activity.
Fun fact, cocaine can be medicinal. They use it in ironically enough, they use it in the surgery where you get your vision corrected with the laser eye stuff.
Oh.
They actually use that to numb your eyes before they put the laser on it. And there's one other thing that they use it. They don't use it anymore, but they still use that in modern times. So, fun fact.
Everyone loves cocaine.
Exactly. Even doctors. I mean, look at Freud.
Oh, yeah. No matter how noble Cardiac's intentions are, Spider-Man has to stop him. Moments later, Mary Jane arrives at Aunt May's house and worries that Peter is going to be late. However, he surprises her by arriving on time.
It's like when Barry shows up. What?
Yeah, but Mary Jane ain't...
Dinner's not even ready!
Mary Jane ain't...
The turkey's not even in the oven!
Mary Jane's not hangry.
Exactly.
After Peter changes into his civilian clothes, he and Mary Jane are invited into May's house for lunch. Also there is May's new boyfriend, Willie Lumpkin.
Hey!
Man, she moves on quick after Nathan, man.
He was a downer, bro.
I know.
She probably put the pillow over his face between us hands.
Now she hired the vulture.
She gave it to she's like, Doc, could you do me a favor?
It was the middle of a Sinister Six story. It's possible.
Exactly.
Left alone with Willie while the women are serving lunch. They're in the kitchen!
You're boning my aunt, huh? Can you even get it up, bro?
Whoa! Yes, there's a new drug called Viagra.
Was that out? 91?
I don't know. Well, originally it wasn't it a heart medication? Maybe he was taking.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe he accidentally discovered it when he was taking it for his heart or something. Viagra, it keeps your heart on.
1998. Nice try. That's when the FDA approved it.
Damn it.
I didn't think so, because I remember the commercials when they first came out. I'm like, why is this on during dinner? Keep that in the tampon commercials for the housewives, man. Put that shit on After the View.
Willie might have access to it because, it's the Marvel Universe. Reed Richards is probably developing it as we speak in 92.
Yeah, as we speak.
Peter has an awkward time striking up a conversation with the mailman. Willie breaks the ice by telling Peter he knows how he must feel after the death of his Uncle Ben and the more recent passing of May's fiance, Nathan Lubinsky.
Stop with the floating heads of guilt! My liver can't take it!
But he assures Peter that he has nothing but honorable intentions for May. and he'll quickly
I'm sure.
and he'll quickly disappear right before the clone saga. Peter thanks Willie for speaking so candidly.
As everyone should have in retrospect.
Well, again, they can't kill off Willie, so it's just like okay. Peter thanks Willie for speaking so candidly with him and apologizes for being standoffish. Willie takes no offense as he knows Peter loves his aunt and only wants what is best for her. Meanwhile,
He would have let her die if he wanted what was best for her to save his marriage.
oh,
Ooh. Sorry, Phil.
I think
Speaking my truth, man. Speaking
I
my truth.
know. Meanwhile, I should have gave her a Snickers. She's not herself.
Oh, Phil. You silly.
Hey, man, you stab me, I'll stab you. All right. Meanwhile, at the Arctic retreat of industrialist Justin Hammer, the crooked businessman, isn't that?
Just say business.
I was gonna say, isn't that?
If you're worth billions, you've not done that.
Aren't those synonyms?
Completely legal. So I don't care what you say. You're evading taxes and by tax loopholes that you hire your lawyers to lobby for. You're a criminal. Eat the rich.
I have the finest supervillains, the finest. The crooked businessman cannot
Rhino, I disagree.
take his mind off of how Cardiac is interfering with his business operations. Well, some people try to exaggerate the greatness of their holdings of Hellfire.
Don't I know it?
The hail!
It's Aussie time! Hell yeah!
Hammer decides to take things a step further, telling his assistant, Philip Barnett, to get him the contact information for the press and various embassies located in New York City.
New York City?
2 days later, Peter Parker has still found no trace of Cardiac and it has started to affect his grades. Returning to Empire State University, Peter comes across a poster of Silver Sable asking Spider-Man to contact her immediately.
Oh.
She's drawn by Bagley, so he does.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay tuned for later in the year, kids. Justin and I are two episodes of Marvel Tales. We're going to cover like the first 4 issues of Silver Sable, so...
That's funny.
The Lord's work, Lilith Hellfire.
The Lord's work.
He wonders what Sable wants with his alter ego this time. Changing into Spider-Man, the Wallcrawler pays a visit to the Simkarian embassy where Silver Sable introduces him to Herschel Sapper, the owner of Sapperdyne Chemicals, who has hired Silver Sable International to deal with Cardiac.
Oh, wait, let me see. Can I get that Silver?
Since he also knows that Spider-Man had previously assisted Silver Sable in the past, he has also asked for the Wallcrawler's assistance as well.
It's available. I'm doing it.
Oh, nice. He's
all
our friends like Justin and Ray are gonna be like, oh, that's awesome. He is willing to pay Spider-Man for his time, and the web-slinger accepts the offer, although he doesn't entirely trust Sapper, considering he had hired the Rhino to protect one of his chemical plants. At sunset, Elias Wortham's media alert system informs him of a news report of how Sapperdyne Chemicals making a massive shipment of chemicals aboard the USS Palmero in what the company insists is a legal sale of chemicals. Seeing this, Elias begins to be racked with pain. Yes, kids, visit Lilith Hellfire at her new home, silversable.com.
Somebody already has silversable.com. Nobody has Silver Sable.
Oh, well, you put up silversable.com.
I know, because there's a website that works. It's old. It's from the 90s.
Oh, my. Seeing this, Elias begins to be racked with pain. He rushes to his secret lab where he uses the maintenance program to stabilize his artificial heart that not only keeps him alive, but also channels his powers. He insists that he must stay alive as long as possible so he can fulfill the promise he made to his brother Josh.
Oh, he was just joshing around. He didn't keep it.
I was going to say it. An artificial heart that gives you superpowers.
Iron Man.
Because the MCU might owe Michelini something. That evening, tugboats pull the USS Palmero out of New York Harbor for its trip. On board, the ship is... Okay, South Park. On board the ship is Spider-Man, who is on board to protect the ship from attack by Cardiac. Also on board is an Australian man who has been hired to deal with Spider-Man after. And that man, kids...
It was just a really nice package.
No, not him.
Whatever side of Boom makes, I don't freaking know.
Out of the pouch. Boing. Nailed it.
Exciting times to be a pimp.
I haven't heard the nailed it drop in so long.
What?
We haven't used that nailed it drop in so long, bro.
Nailed it.
Couple of balls down the gob.
While at Riker's Island, Eddie Brock continues his ongoing exercise regime, much to the annoyance of his cellmate Cletus Cassidy and notorious serial.
I hate to side with the serial killer, but Cletus is right. It's a little too much, man. Take a break.
I love Cletus. It's just like, I'm in for 11 consecutive life sentences. What's one more?
I mean, at that point, honestly.
Suddenly, the window of their cell is filled with a black substance that seems to be alive. Cletus is frightened by the mass, but Eddie Brock is delighted to see that his symbiote is alive after all. Bonding with his other, Eddie Brock then smashes the outer wall of his cell and flees. Cletus is still frightened, but figures the incident is over with, unaware that the symbiote left a dripping portion of itself on the bars of the window.
Don't you hate it when that happens? Let's get somebody pregnant!
Wow!
I mean, that's basically what happened. That's a little asexual reproduction for you.
Whoa, yeah.
It's enjoyable, and somehow I got pregnant.
That is exactly what that drop is for.
If only Cletus had just said.
I don't do Twinkies or toaster strudels, so.
Or at least watch where he's like rubbing his hands after. Wash your hands before you rub your eye.
The Carnage symbiote, kids. The pink eye of the Marvel Universe.
Best case scenario.
Oh, by this time, the tugboats have finished pulling the ship out to sea. No sooner than the USS Palmero begins its voyage, Spider-Man's spider sense goes off.
No, it's not the U. It's just the SS. It's like, it's like whatever.
Yes, SS.
Gilligan went out on.
I'm just used to saying USS. Leave me alone. He warns the crew to abandon ship, and they all comply, except for the Australian man. He turns out to be Spider-Man's foe, Boomerang. Meanwhile, Spider-Man confronts Cardiac in the ship's cargo hold. He tries to reason with Cardiac, telling him that laws are not to be broken, even if they need to be changed.
Boomerang, Bullseye. They're all the same. They all suck.
Whoa! Not willing to listen, Cardiac opens fire with his beta staff, but the wall crawler dodges it. The hero then tries to pull the weapon from Cardiac's hands, but fails. As the battle rages, Boomerang watches from the sidelines, even though Justin Hammer ordered him not to reveal himself until after the battle was over and finish whoever was left. Like a little Hellfire date. However, the villain wants to make a reputation for makes a reputation for himself and attacks the pair. He tosses two disruptor rangs, while one briefly stuns Spider-Man. The other affects Cardiac's artificial heart. Seeing Cardiac
Captain Boomerang.
Seeing Cardiac in distress, the wall crawler quickly stops Boomerang's attack by webbing up one of his rocket boots, sending him flying out of control into the ocean.
Uh-oh. You know him and gliders. He's lucky he got off that easy.
He gave him the ultimate swirly. When Spider-Man turns to aid Cardiac, he discovers that his foe's recovered and he successfully blasts a hole in the ship, causing it to sink. Cardiac gloats that he has struck a crippling blow to Saperdine chemicals that will lead to the organization's financial ruin. Summoning a glider, Cardiac makes his escape despite Spider-Man's failed attempt to tag him with a spider tracer. While back ashore, Eddie Brock climbs out of the waters. With his symbiote enveloping his entire body, he becomes Venom once more. He's about to take an island trip.
We could all use a little vacation from ourselves.
Welcome to Fantasy Island. Alright. Thoughts, Lilith?
That was a lot. That was jam-packed.
That's 90s comics, kids.
Fast-paced and a lot of nonsense.
Again.
Nonsense burger.
Again, modern comics, those 2 issues would have been 6.
It would have been a mini-series. What are you talking about?
I know. That's what I'm saying. 5 to 6 issues. Alright. You ready for the return of Cardiac?
I mean, no, but yeah.
Alright, Amazing Spider-Man 359, so close. Cover date February 1992. Toy death, just the way Lilith wants to go.
Exactly, that's why I'm building a love bot. Although, let me just ask you this: do you think Fuckboy 69,000 is a little too on the nose.
Whoa!
You think a little too on the nose?
Maybe.
All
You
right,
gotta,
I'll
make,
revoke it.
you gotta make it more romantic. I don't know. Just like
Romantic?
the Humper Pumper 5000. I don't know.
No, Rumpy Pumpy 69?
Yes!
Rumpy pumpy.
Yes.
Sorry, Ray. I'm going to have to take that.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
All right, I'm going to workshop it. We'll figure it out.
And gentlemen, lady,
Boy will
ge-
be the like premium delivery.
and girls. Yeah. Girls and boys, remember.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, remember, Lilith Hellfire's guarantee with every purchase, you'll say,
Whoa, that's pretty damn big.
But don't forget, they'll be interchangeable. Don't worry about it.
ooh, yeah. Writer Michelini again, because he wants his shekel. So, Cardiac's back. Villain penciler Chris Marinin. Inker Keith Williams, like colors Bob Sharon, Rick Parker. Oh, editor, Lil's favorite, Danny Fingeroth.
You know what they say? Don't get bigger.
Talk about trying to get a shekel. It's like, play my drop, boy.
Don't get fingered.
All right. Based on a tip from Ben Urich.
He's insufferable at this point, but whatever.
That's the drop ID. Just Lilith going, ugh.
Yeah. Ugh.
Save everyone some time and energy. Just to have Lilith going,
Ray
ugh.
Mercado and him. It's just,
Spider-Man has come to a warehouse to photograph Albert Bruckner, a crooked banker, again,
exactly.
making a secret purchase of a custom-made Ferrari after his savings and loan company went bankrupt,
No. That's so real to life, bro.
leaving investors with their savings gone. Again, so Michelini did his homework.
No, that was all over the news back then.
Oh, yeah. As Spider-Man takes photos, his position is compromised when the dealer shows off the car's fog lights, causing a reflection to cast off the lens of the wall crawler's camera.
I don't think that's how that works.
The dealer has prepared for any kind of interruption and activates a number of defense drones to eliminate him.
What is this, Amazon?
I'll-
Amazon HQ all of a sudden?
don't come to me. Don't come at me on Prime Day, kid.
July 11th through 12th, I guess. If Bezos, if you want to sponsor us.
And remember who died for you. Then make that possible, kids. Optimus. Spider-Man quickly destroys these attacking machines and escapes out a window so he can get his photos back to the Daily Bugle. There, Peter Parker develops his photos and hands them over to Ben Urich, who is more than happy that Peter managed to get the shots for him. With his job over for the day, Peter prepares for an evening out with his wife,
Ooh, a
Mary
sock
Jane.
hop. What is this, Happy Days?
Later that evening, Peter and Mary Jane attend a 50s dance with Flash Thompson and Felicia Hardy. While Peter and Mary Jane are dancing, Flash goes to get some beverages for himself and Felicia. Left alone, Hardy wonders if she is ready for this sort of life, missing the excitement of being the Black Cat, because she lost her powers. Her thoughts are...
Ooh, 343, that was a tough one. Did we cover that?
Oh yeah, the powerless thing. Yes, we
Yeah.
did. Yes.
Sure did.
Her thoughts are... Again, find it on the Ultimate Spider-Cast playlist on the
No,
Capes and
I
Lunatics
swear to
Podcast
God,
Network YouTube
you
channel.
can't take it!
Her thoughts are interrupted when an aggressive man comes up and begins hitting on her. In response, she breaks his finger, sending him packing.
Ooh, definitely don't get fingered.
The Lilith Hellfire method.
Exactly. Have we tried hurting them yet?
Don't get fingered.
By midnight, Peter Parker and Mary Jane are on their way home. Passing by a newspaper stand, Peter shows Mary Jane his recent photos. He feels
She's like, they're not blurry or anything. Good job, buddy.
good to make an impact in the world. See, look, aren't you turned on? I'm a superhero. I'm a
successful photographer.
I'm a newspaper man. However, Peter wouldn't realize how literally an impact his photos have made. At that very moment, the mansion of Albert Buckner is attacked by Cardiac. Seeking to make Buckner pay for his greed, he uses his beta staff to destroy all of Albert's...
So are we not supposed to agree with Cardiac? Like, I'm confused.
I think that's the spin of Cardiac. It's like...
He's doing the Lord's work. I'm like,
I think it's...
I'm just being real.
I think it's working, Lilith. I think it's like you're supposed to be like, oh, is he such a bad guy? Is he so wrong? But yes, he uses the beta staff to destroy all of Albert's money and possessions, including his recently purchased car.
His half was on the bottom.
When Buckner demands to know why Cardiac has done this, the costume vigilante explains that Buckner needs to pay the consequences for his actions. Suddenly, Cardiac's hang glider swoops down and carries its master away. Noel Tate, if you're not listening to this, you need to listen to this episode. The following day, Peter Parker is informed by J. Jonah Jameson about Cardiac's attack on Buckner. As it turns out, Cardiac has been choosing targets from Ben Urich's recent exposés.
Another reason to hate Ben Urich.
Yeah, but Lilith, if it weren't for his expose, Cardiac would never would have went out after Buckner, though.
It's a catch-22 for sure.
While that evening, again at Rikers Island, a guard goes to the cell holding Cletus Cassidy wants to know who he is talking to. Cassidy shows him when some strange liquid-like form shoots out of his chest and pulls the guard through the bars. When some other guards happen upon the horrific scene, they discover that Cassidy has managed to escape. Is it better that way, Lilith, when the goo shoots away from the chest?
Definitely.
All right, I gotta hit it. Hold on.
Well, that escalated quickly. It's so salty.
The next day, Peter Parker and Ben Urich go.
I'll take your word for it, Justin. I can't relate.
Leave him alone. He just fell out of his chair. The next day, Peter Parker and Ben Urich go over their most recent expose on tech toys regarding one of their electronic dolls that injured a child. That's what you gotta watch for, Lilith.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fingerprint lock on it. Don't worry about it.
They managed to get out of any legal trouble due to a technicality. They are concerned that Cardiac...
The best way to get out of legal trouble. Just ask Trump.
Oh! I have the best...
too topical. Sorry, kids.
I have the best technicalities. The best. They are concerned that Cardiac may use this report as inspiration for his next target. However, this did little to stop the company, which changed its name and continued to market the same flawed toy design. Oh.
Ooh, that is ripped straight from the headlines of the 90s.
So yeah, kids, after those sex bots kill somebody, yes, get your new sex dolls at silversableinternational.com. Oh yeah, you're not gonna get a cease and desist from Marvel or Disney or nothing. Nah.
More likely Sony, but
a Silver Sable one. You know how many? You do a superhero line. You know how many nerds you get?
Oh, that's my plan. If Marvel taught me nothing, I'm gonna take some nerds' lunch money, bud.
Silver Sable, Scarlet Witch, She-Hulk.
Silk. The only time that you'll see me endorsing Silk.
Well, who would buy a Silk one?
Rumpy Pumpy.
Sure enough, when Elias Wortham reads about this in the Bugle, he cancels all of his appointments for the day to attack the company as Cardiac.
Fetch me my hang glider, woman!
Fetch me my weapons of destruction. That evening,
you're doing me now?
Yeah, exactly. That evening, Spider-Man is staking out the factory where the electronic dolls are being made, and is present when Cardiac begins attacking the facility. Although the company paid for armed guards, Spider-Man keeps them at bay while he deals with Cardiac on his own. Spider-Man's attempts to convince Cardiac to stop taking the law into his own hands fall on deaf ears, and the pair come to blows. During the course of the battle, the head of security climbs up onto the crane in the hopes of using it to stop the two combatants. Meanwhile, Spider-Man tries to pull Cardiac's staff out of his hands. The beta feedback sends both combatants flying in opposite directions. While Spider-Man lands in a pile of boxes, Cardiac bumps into a vat of the molten plastic used to make the dolls. Although the liquid plastic doesn't physically harm Cardiac, the fumes cause him to pass out onto an assembly conveyor belt where the dolls have their ear cavities punched in. Seeing that the two combatants took care of themselves, the guards get out of the crane but realize it's too late that he forgot to shut it down. Losing his footing, he slips and grabs onto a girder to prevent himself from falling to his death. As Spider-Man recovers from the feedback, he finds himself with time to save only one of the two imperiled men.
Play favorites, so you just let them both go. Duh.
Oh, I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you. Yeah, Cardiac, you brought this on yourself, and that security guard. Yeah, you almost almost injured me. Yeah.
Low key, Peter Parker is a petty man. Low key.
And Marvel knows what they're doing because, again, they have a fill-in artist for these two issues, but again, we still have Mark Bagley covers on these.
Do what you gotta do, man.
I knew what they were doing. All right, ready for the last one?
Hey, kid, you want a job?
Ready for the last one, Lil?
No, but let's go.
Amazing Spider-Man 360. The one before Carnage's first full appearance, March 1992. Death Toy. Do you dare attempt to tame the Death Toy? Brought to you by Lilith Hellfire Incorporated.
Lilith Hellfire Enterprise.
All right, same creative team. At the tech toy factory, Spider-Man is caught between a rock and a hard place. Does he save Cardiac from being lobotomized from the toy assembly line, or the security guard who could fall to his death?
Lobotomy's not that bad.
We don't have to worry about as much in the world, you know. Get a good enough lobotomy.
I mean, it's Marvel. They can just send him to Reed Richards. He'll fix it.
You get a good enough lobotomy, you could just sit there and enjoy Fox News all day. I'm joking. CNN ain't that hot these days either. So
MSNBC, none of them. They're all a joke.
Yeah. Oh, please. Both sides are crap.
Exactly. News should never be for profit. But anyway.
However,
enough of my socialist rant.
Noel's like, no more. However, he quickly comes up with a solution that will save both men. Tossing Cardiac's beta staff upward, it lands on the track of the crane, bearing down on the security guard, stopping it before it can run over his fingers and send him falling to his death. The hero then rips up the conveyor belt on the assembly line, whipping Cardiac off the belt. When the guard finally loses his grip, Spider-Man has web swinged up to catch him in the nick of time. As Spider-Man gets the guard to the ground, Cardiac has recovered his beta staff and uses it to destroy the rest of the assembly line before fleeing to another part of the factory. The wall crawler follows him after him and finds Cardiac going over printouts in a central control room. When Spider-Man asks what Cardiac has found, the vigilante explains that he has found proof that Tech Toys has been participating in human experiments.
What kind of toy company is this?
Again, Lilith Hellfire Love Dolls. Come on.
Yeesh.
Before Spider-Man can learn more, he is distracted by the sound of approaching sirens. Cardiac takes this opportunity to escape, narrowly avoiding being tagged by a spider tracer. With the authorities arriving, Spider-Man grabs some of the evidence for himself and escapes as well. When Spider-Man returns home, he finds that his wife Mary Jane is nowhere to be found. However, she arrives home shortly after, explaining that she had just returned home from visiting Liz Osborn downstairs, who is currently upset about her husband Harry.
Ah, good old spectacular Spider-Man.
In the midst of another nervous breakdown.
Oh yeah, nervous breakdowns and the Osborn. Amnesia. Let's not forget amnesia.
My fetish is to get touched by a white man with cornrows.
Oh my god! Instead of Gobble Gobble Month every November, we should do
Sad Whistle September.
Cornrows of Disappointment, the Osborn Month. Noticing her husband looks somber this evening, she is soon brought up to speed regarding the situation with Cardiac. Peter feels responsible for those who got hurt, as Cardiac is using the exposés in the Daily Bugle that Peter photographed and vows to stop Cardiac no matter what.
I mean, even Jameson had a decency to step down after he revealed,
Well, the Hobgoblin was the original Hobgoblin was gonna blackmail him. He's like, nah, I'll just release it myself, kid.
So, Ben has less ethics than Jonah. That's rough.
Mm-hmm. While at the secret lab of Cardiac, Dr. Elias Wortham examines the damage done to his pseudo-skin and begins going over the tech toy reports as his body undergoes repairs. He learns that the toy company has been experimenting on controlling the human nervous system.
Why? For what? To what end? It's not like they're Monsanto. Jesus.
Oh!
Whoops, I guess there goes another sponsor.
Elsewhere in the city, Gunther Stein is returning home after a grueling night shift. When he arrives at his door, he finds a horrific creature waiting for him. Calling itself Carnage, the man-monster puts a hand over Stein's mouth. Suddenly, the hand turns into a series of tendrils that go into the mouth and nose of Gunther, suffocating him.
I don't think those are tentacles.
And Cletus goes, yeah, I just killed your name, stupid.
I don't think those are tentacles.
So literally...
Hashtag Petty King.
Oh, think about that, how petty that is. He must have went... It's 90s, so there's a phone book. He went through the phone book, found the stupidest name he could find in the city, and killed the guy. Hashtag petty. People are going to think you're talking about me.
That's what makes it so funny.
Oh yeah, well this Cardiac's a salty bitch.
It is.
The next morning, Peter Parker has a meeting with J. Jonah Jameson and Ben Urich to tell them that he will no longer be taking pictures for any more exposés. He then goes down to the Bugle morgue to find out what sort of corporate connections Technoid has and discovers that it is a subsidiary of Stain International.
You said Stain.
Lilith.
Obadiah, suck it!
Meanwhile, he's already dead at this point, but that company's still up to shenanigans.
It's his legacy.
His research is interrupted by Joy Mercado, who asks Peter if he's working on something newsworthy. Speaking of no ethics,
Nothing. I'm not working on anything.
Speaking of no ethics, here's Joy Mercado. He tells her that he is looking up something for homework and quickly logs out of the computer. However, Joy's not buying this. She takes a look at the records Peter was investigating and is interested in what she finds. While that evening at the Lincoln Center, Elias Wortham is attending a charity gala. There he talks to a councilwoman that is up for re-election.
Yes.
She is on the...
This is the real deal.
She is on the board of directors for Tectoy, and since he had contributed to her campaign in the past, he manages to convince her to tell him who the mysterious parent organization of Tectoy might be. Later, after midnight, Spider-Man is about to consider his stakeout...
I love that they preface that.
Yes. Consider his stakeout at State International a bust when he suddenly spots Cardiac sneaking onto the property. The vigilante blasts his way into the office of Joe Faulkner. As head of Stain and Technoid, he holds him responsible for the nerve gas research that Tectoy is involved in. Now we're in the nerve gas?
Hey, you know what? I mean, having a toy company, it seems innocuous. It's actually the perfect cover. Like a children's toy company.
Oh god, okay kids, I created this monster. Love dolls, that's all it is, I swear. The FBI, I love dolls. Joe reveals...
Keeping the nerds busy, I'm doing the Lord's work!
That's true.
I wonder if my wrist is ready for that.
It'll be automatic. You don't even have to worry about wrist injury more.
Oh.
It's going to be revolutionary, I tell you.
Oh my. Joe reveals that it is something even more sinister. Not a gas, but a sonic device that is perfectly legal. Before Cardiac can eliminate Faulkner, Spider-Man interferes, even though he is at odds considering what Faulkner is involved in. Cardiac tries to...
His name is Faulkner.
Yeah. Oh, or he's saying he's going to get falked up.
Oh, yeah.
Cardiac tries to appeal to Spider-Man by telling him a story. Omitting his true identity, Cardiac talks about the close relationship he had with his younger brother, Joshua. Joshua fell ill of an incurable disease and died at a young age. Elias decided then to devote his life to medicine in order to save lives so nobody would have to suffer the loss he did. During his studies, Elias had learned that a chemical company had discovered a miracle cure that could have saved his brother's life. When Wortham shifted his focus, becoming a leading businessman in the field of medical science. Acquiring a vast fortune, he purchased the chemical company that had developed the cure. He discovered that the company had actually created the cure years ago, when it could have saved Joshua's life.
Sounds like the main chemical in the AIDS retroviral that was used for face cream over in Europe for a decade before they decided to lease out the patent.
But withheld it from the public until the economic climate was such they could have reaped a massive profit.
And now they have ads on TV. Yeah, crazy capitalism.
Well,
Truly late-stage capitalism at its finest.
Well, again, we joked about it before, but think about it. They came up with a pill for the heart, but they're like, oh, we can make more money as a boner pill.
And that tells you everything you need to know about American medicine.
Yes.
Not to put too fine of a point on. Somebody help us, guys. Please.
I know. He became Cardiac to destroy those who hide behind the law, to profit off the suffering and death of others. While Spider-Man is sympathetic toward Cardiac's losses, he cannot advocate the murder of anyone, regardless of the cause.
Except maybe Venom.
Accidentally. This entire distraction allows... Carnage, come on. This entire distraction allows Joe Faulkner to hit the security alarm. Soon, the two costume vigilantes are ambushed by the Stain International security team. Outnumbered, the pair agree to put aside their differences to deal with the security team.
He's like, let's get to work.
However, when Spider-Man begins cutting down their numbers, he discovers that Cardiac had slipped away in the confusion. Spider-Man follows Cardiac's trail of destruction, leading the wall crawler to where the sonic missiles are being stored. As Spider-Man tries to stop Cardiac from destroying the weapons, they suddenly hear the sound of police sirens. Although Cardiac thinks he has lost this battle, the police have come with the district attorney. As it turns out, Joy Mercado investigated the connection between Stain International, Tectoy, and their production of the sonic weapons. The DA has come to shut down operations so they can be investigated. When Spider-Man tries to show Cardiac that they can fight unscrupulous corporations through legal means, he discovers that Cardiac is gone. The vigilante had also left a note that reads, "One down, a world to go." Spider-Man is disappointed that he cannot convince Cardiac to fight on the side of the law, but resigns to their differences for now and heads home.
Oh, this is truly the darkest timeline. Joy Mercado to the rescue? Oh, fuck me.
Oh, wow!
Oh, that is like one of the worst ways I've ever seen a story ended. I'm sorry.
I think I just heard the future most requested drop of all time.
Too bad you can't play it on YouTube.
Too bad I can play it on the Patreon. I love how
That's fine.
I love how you could say it, but you're like, oh, you can't play it on the YouTube.
I mean, not repeatedly. You know, it's like the PG film. You get one. You get one F-bomb.
Ray, we can discuss prices for ringtones. Yes, just message me. That messenger goes off. F me! Alright, thoughts, Lilith Hellfire?
What the fuck did we just read? This was terrible. Like, no, I'm kidding. It was okay, but the Joy Mercado thing really just is rubbing salt in the wound.
Oh, I know.
That's an alright story. I mean, Cardiac's not bad. Like I said, I kind of agree with Cardiac more than I do Peter Parker at times. So.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, history has kind of painted him as a joke, but I mean, it's like he does kind of have a point.
I mean, this was the 90s. This was like 30 years ago, literally. And
yeah.
We're still, like, it's gotten worse.
It's never been good. But it just goes down.
I mean, we literally live in a dystopia. Like, I don't know if you guys know, if you're an American, you live in a dystopian freaking society and people are laughing at us on the other side of the pond. So.
Oh, yeah. Remember back in the day when they tried to convince us America was the greatest country in the world, Lilith Hellfire?
Yeah, American exceptionalism, brainwashing, propaganda. Yeah.
Pledge of Allegiance every day. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, then you realize, like, I remember, like, I was like, because I got to spend a lot of time outside of America, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, nobody else does that. I mean, except for maybe Germany during, World War II. Woo! That was a wake-up call as a teenager. Like,
yep.
Okay. That is weird. I thought it was weird. People said it wasn't weird, but I thought it was weird.
Exactly.
But no, like I said, yeah, I mean, maybe, not Zed. You sit down, Zed. Maybe the next writer of Spider-Man can bring a resurgence. I think we need this.
Yeah, come on, let's bring back Cardiac and like a decent plot, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't, involve Carnage spawning asexually.
Oh my! All right. Oh hey, I don't know. You probably don't want to talk new Spider-Man books, but did you hear about the newest controversy that does not involve Zeb Wells?
No.
Okay, I did my homework. I picked up Edge of Spider-Verse #3.
Okay.
Because it has a Spider-Boy story in it. No, they announced this week by Dan Slott, and is it Humberto Ramos maybe?
Yeah, it is.
Spider-Boy is getting an ongoing. Not a miniseries, kids, an ongoing.
Right.
And everyone everyone on the internet's like, wait a minute, we can't. You effed with Ben Reilly. He can't get us even get a mini at this point. Spider-Man 2099. They don't know what the hell they're doing with like Miles and Gwen, but you're gonna give this brand new 10-year-old Spider, boy, a ongoing series.
Gotta compete with Damian Wayne somehow, kiddos.
Who we've seen for like 5 whole seconds, and he's getting an ongoing.
Well, also it's Dan Slott. But it's like, babes, you don't have Mark Bagley art, so what are you doing? Like,
exactly.
No That'd be like the only way a lot of people would pick it up.
Exactly. So
I mean, I like the artist that he chose, but like I said, it is not Mark Bagley.
Exactly, yeah.
10? I thought he was at least going to be 13.
I know. Luke is 10.
That's an odd choice. That's an interesting artistic choice.
Lilith, Luke is 10. So think of that.
Okay, but most 10-year-olds are playing Fortnite.
That's what I'm saying.
So, interesting artistic choice.
But my question is, how can Dan Slott push through a ongoing series for a brand new character we've barely seen? Does he have blackmail, or is he like living off the good graces. I mean, he did give them Superior Spider-Man and like the Spider-Verse stuff.
And the other stuff that he's doing right now is allegedly, I'll preface this with allegedly, doing better than the main Spider-Book. So,
well, that's not hard.
Especially now. But yeah, even before the reveal, he was doing better numbers.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm just saying.
Slot.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Some juice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, especially on the Spider side with Superior Spider-Man.
He hasn't killed a young brown woman in years, decades.
I mean, he opened them the door for Spider-Verse where they're just like, oh, we could give, everybody gets a Spider person.
I mean, it's interesting that he wouldn't have wanted to use, but he's in it for the shekels.
Oh yeah,
He
wants he wants something he created.
Yeah. So I mean, again, late stage capitalism, greed, and all that, but. I mean, 10? That's crazy. I don't know who that's for then. We'll see.
Are we trying to bring...
It could be a well-written story, maybe.
Are we trying to bring younger kids in?
I mean, I guess Marvel took a look and realized we're all decrepit. They might want to refresh the pool there.
So are they saying Miles is too old now?
Wow. It's kind of like why Ash from Pokemon stayed 10 for 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like, yeah, because, I mean, when Miles first appeared, wasn't he like... He wasn't even 13, was he? He was younger than that, wasn't
he? Yeah.
And they kind of aged him up once they brought him into the main Marvel universe, so...
Yeah.
Maybe they should have kept him a little younger.
I mean, it's like, babes, we just introduced, like, it's such a shame.
And again, like I messaged...
Like I said, I'm kind of happy. I think that leaves room, like, for whatever reason, they always want to, like, in the movies start Peter, and then that kind of, like, makes Peter seem younger in the books, despite him being a very fully grown-ass man making bad life choices.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's giving Tony Stark at this point.
Mm-hmm. And once again, another new younger Spider person. So now we can really bring that marriage back.
They really wanted a Robin, bro. Bucky's too old at this point. They want a Robin.
But that's the thing. It's like that's the whole point of Spider-Man. It's like when Peter started, he was 16. Fight me, nerds. He was 16. 15, 16. But it's like, any other character, usually you're a sidekick at that point. No, he was the hero.
Yeah. They've lost the plot and the threads of everything. Like I said, and Dan Slott's an old guard kind of guy too. This kind of surprised me. Like, it didn't surprise me, but it kind of surprised me.
Do you think that was this any way in shape or form marching orders maybe?
I think he pitched the idea and they said, fuck yeah. Let's try to get some young kids. Let's get some of that Fortnite money.
And like I joked with you, I mean, are we doing white Miles Morales? Because I mean, he's wearing the sneakers.
Well, yeah, and that was my thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, the blacks and the Hispanics have a young Spider-Man. Why can't the white? I'm like, babes, we did have that. He's grown and evolved now.
We've had him for 60 years.
I mean, if you want, why not just do Spider-Boy and then it's like they did for Superboy and that's a flashback of his teenage escapades, like in between the pages. Like, I don't know what we're doing.
Or give him a kid and age them up somehow.
Hello, Mayday is just sitting here. Penny's just sitting here.
That was another complaint everyone had. They're like, we can't get a Mayday book, but we're gonna give this punk an ongoing who's
even Penny, she showed up in like one of the most successful Spider-Man movies. Well, the most successful Spider-Man movie at this point.
Or what was the other daughter's name? Annie from Renew Your Vows. Yeah. I think people would take to it more if it was a child of Peter and Mary Jane's.
Oh, absolutely. We've been clamoring for. You can't give us a damn marriage. Give us the kids. Like, come on. Give us a slice of cake if we can't eat it. Let me just smell the cake. You're welcome.
Or even like Felicia's kid or something. But I mean,
something.
Who the hell is this kid? Bailey. What?
Oh God, not a Bailey. Not a Bailey. His name might as well be Jaden. Jesus, Bailey.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the name. It's something Bailey, and I think the last name's a B too. But I'm just like, as far as we know, he's connected to none of them. It's like, really?
I mean, literally, there was another Spider-Boy, Peter Ross.
Exactly.
I don't know.
But, I mean, and literally, Dan Slott just whipped him out of thin air at the end of that arc. Pulled the Buffy sister trick, and it was just like, oh, hey, reality's being rewritten. There's a kid now.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. We'll see where it goes. Maybe this opens up stories for... Maybe they are trying to test the waters to see if they can launch like a Nook. I don't know.
I tell you who made that made happy this week was Zeb Wells. They're like, oh, they're off me for a second.
We're don't worry. That foot on the neck's gonna be right back there, but don't you worry.
Bailey Briggs with 2 G's.
Yeah. And they're giving them all new villains. Who wants to fight a 10-year-old?
Is it gonna be other?
Besides,
Oh man, are we gonna get like a
Scorpion?
Are we getting like 10-year-old?
Chakra.
Are we gonna get like 10-year-old versions of villains and stuff?
Clones of the villains that are 10 years old. Is this a Clone Saga 3?
Oh, and they still haven't explained his origin, Lilith. But okay, so you didn't read this story in Edge of Spider-Verse 3?
And not that one.
He drops the name of a villain that somehow he got his powers through like contact with a certain villain. It gets worse. Who do you think? Who he comes into contact with? Who and gets powers? What's the worst name that you could come up with? And think Dan Slott.
Oh no! Just tell me. Too many.
Mr. Negative.
I'm glad I didn't read that stuff. That would have ruined the Edge of Spider-Verse for me.
Maybe I'll slab it because maybe it'll be worth something, but then I don't have to freaking read it anymore.
Yeah, go ahead and slab that. Nobody's gonna need to read that again. I don't know. When we said we wanted to expand the Spider-Verse, we meant we wanted another Spider-Woman book. We meant Silk Can Go Kick Rocks. Shout out to her #2 issue this week.
Yeah.
Figure out what the hell's going on with Gwen and Miles, and then fix the marriage and give us kids that you can then age up or send, or do whatever you do.
You want a Spider Boy? Give them a son or something.
It's so weird.
That's what I'm saying. An ongoing.
It could even be like freaking Spider-Man 2999's kid back in time that gets sent to live with Peter for all we hear. Like something.
Exactly. He has a connection to no one as far. And again, they could have lied. They could have put on a show and like, oh, we're going to give him a miniseries, and then after the miniseries, they could have lied and said, oh, this thing sold so well, we're going to go with give him an ongoing now. But no, they went right to, oh, he's getting an ongoing.
Yeah, I don't know. They must still think it's the 90s where we'll just, take anything they give us. Like,
hell,
so many options, so many choices.
Oh, they're giving.
That it's like
they're giving us something, Lilith. Giving us the Twinkies and
poop sandwich.
Giving us the Twinkies and the toaster strudels, Lilith.
No, they're giving us straight poop sandwich. But like I said, I mean, if this is gonna like fulfill some obligation to tell stories, and make the stories better for everybody else, I doubt it, but I'm hoping.
But again, with the Spider-Verse, there are so many other characters they've already introduced, and like,
I would rather have a Peter Porker story. I would rather have Spider-Man Noir.
You would think after the movie they would like give Spider-Punk something or something.
Well, I mean before, because they got pushed back, but like the Spider-Punk book that they did put out was excellent and it was very well received. But it's not a Dan Slott character. Whatever that means, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, his book's doing better, but like it's not like, no offense to Zeb, it's not like it's like
That's what I'm saying. I mean, did Dan Slott sell so many units that anytime he has an idea for a spider something, they're just like they roll over and they're like, yeah,
it's not hard to like. I mean, no book is selling like. They're lucky to get 300,000 copies nowadays.
I wonder if like the collections of like Superior Spider-Man and like the Spider. Oh, you know what it is. All the trades of like the Spider-Verse stuff is probably selling better now after the movie.
Well, I mean, I can see why people are upset. I was gonna give it a chance, but 10? I thought they were definitely gonna go teenage. I definitely thought they were gonna go at least 13.
I know, that's so weird. And again, I'm just like, well, man, that's really a slap in the face to Miles, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, they've been giving Miles despite into the Spider-Verse being so good.
Lilith.
They're doing the thing they did with X-Men.
Lilith.
And Fantastic Four.
Sony, Miles is Sony's boy. Is that part of it?
Yeah, they're giving him the old X-Men treatment.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we don't need you. We'll create our own young Spider-Man.
I hope that's not what it is, because that shit's gonna fly.
Well, between the Sony thing and then he is a Bendis creation too. Two strikes against him. Yeah.
You ain't gonna give him a third, huh? I mean, and plus he's getting live action too, so that's been confirmed. Official.
Yeah.
So that movie's gonna definitely be better. No offense to Tom Holland. Y'all know I love me some Tom and Zendaya. Y'all know I do. But that's gonna blow the MCU Spider-Man shit out of the water, bro. Like, it's gonna be bananas. Like, you might as well order your ticket right now.
so that's why Disney's saying, hey, Marvel, Miles who? Oh,
I mean, I really do feel like that.
So I wonder if Spider-Boy's book's going to take Miles' book's place, maybe?
Hobie did hella numbers. Like everything that was from Into the Spider-Verse did hella numbers. So yeah, that is a good point. You can't stop being Phil. You're gonna have to talk them into not being petty. I know you love. I love petty shenanigans too, but
I just know from being a petty king, man, you can't stop the train once it starts rolling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
have to let it crash and burn.
Especially when there's like millions of dollars involved, licensing and all that crap.
I mean, I hope for the best. I never want to see a comic book fail because that starts a slippery slope. And like let's be real, like the comic book industry right now is on a precarious ledge.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since the pandemic, anything can literally stop this train, and then we won't have source material.
That's what I thought. I thought
terrible movies.
I thought we weren't taking chances on like an unproven thing anymore, and it's like
this is the hill they want to die on. I guess.
I don't think this.
We'll have to see. Maybe 10-year-olds resonate with it.
I don't know.
Maybe he's playing Fortnite. Maybe there's a bunch of ads in it or something. I don't know. Maybe there's Snickers ads, half-page Snickers ads. I don't know.
Spider-Boy, literally the redheaded stepchild.
Worst of all, Bailey Breeze. The drop the. Thank you.
What?
That's the Big Bang Theory thing.
Oh yeah.
The alliteration.
J. Jonah James.
Well,
Bazinga.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We still have the Spider-Verse movies. We still have some other good stuff, coming up. We got Carnage Reigns, Omega #1.
Oh yeah, yep, got that.
How'd you like it? I heard a lot of people liked it.
I mean,
if you're a Carnage fan, this is literally everything that you want. Did it need to be a big old crossover event? Probably not.
Well, again, we were trying to jack up numbers on Red Goblin and all those other books.
Yeah, but the main book, I like it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's decent. I mean it's Tony Stark and Miles versus Carnage.
Like so random. That's what makes it so good for me personally.
Yeah.
And it's Miles, you know.
Uh-oh, Russell, do you know this? The next issue of Miles, I see a Hobgoblin on the cover.
Gobble gobble, bitches!
There's the new November drop.
Exactly.
Gobble gobble.
Have yourself a happy Thanksgiving, you jive turkey.
And again, the big green elephant in the room. Amazing 28 came out.
I'm like a dog trying to keep the throw up down.
Meanwhile, Zeb Wells is like, "Did you see that damn slide announcement this week?"
Ain't gonna skirt past me on this.
Oh God, is it? What's with ox slime tentacles? What is this?
I know. I don't like it. Tentacles are not supposed to be green and slimy. They're just supposed to be slightly moist looking.
Hell.
Jesus, he even no shade to Ed McGuinness, but like that's not how you make tentacle goo.
Oh my!
Watch some damn hentai. It's an art form.
Lilith Hellfire, how do you make tentacle goo?
I don't think those are tentacles.
I mean, I know the technical process.
Friction. And Jameson's like sleeping with the old tentacles.
I
don't think those are tentacles.
I never would have thought.
He's an old lonely man.
I would have never thought, but hey, here we are.
I wonder if my wrist is ready for that.
That cover though, I was just like, ooh.
Yeah. I guess the big thing you could take from the end of the issue is everyone's like, oh, next issue it's going to be Norman versus Otto. It's like we've had that up before. Yeah. Although this time Norman's the good guy because last time it was like Superior Spider-Man. Otto was the good guy.
I just feel like this was a silly time waste of a joke to take our minds off of the whole Kamala Khan thing.
Yeah.
That's just what they knew. They knew. They're like, oh, let's do something silly and fun. Maybe they'll forgive us.
Oh, especially the last issue opens up with Felicia hires the Shocker to be cannon fodder.
Yeah. I mean, as you do.
I was gonna say, Zeb Wells, are you listening?
Probably. Not probably happy. You make good points. Look, listen. Like I said earlier, I may not be ethical, but I'm fair. I'm fair. If it's good, it's good. Like, I even give Bendis credit where credit is due. So I can totally be fair.
I know.
Bendis.
Will I ever say something nice about Man of Steel? I think I actually did. I said Henry Cavill looked the part. He just didn't play the part. But
exactly.
Terrible actor in a terrible franchise. You can only have one or the other.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Silk number.
Oh!
I tried.
I didn't even try.
I mean, it's written by Emily Kim. It's got art by Igara. People I really like, and like it's silk in cowboy outfits. So I'm just like, okay.
I mean,
why is she trapped in the Wild West? I don't know.
Silk seems like such a cash grab to me, but at least they tried to link her to Peter with it's the same spider that bit her, and it's just like, meanwhile, Spider Boy's just like,
they're back to her brother too, Max, which is kind of interesting. So like they're trying to like be more than TNA with Silk. So I'm like I said, they got a woman writer. They're trying, but like.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm like, why are we pushing Silk again? But is it the same Spider Boy Miles problem? Is it is it Gwen? Is Sony?
Ooh, are you saying they're really trying to just replace the whole?
At least Miles and Gwen, maybe.
But Spider-Woman, no offense, would be the more.
Well, yeah, Jessica Drew, yeah, definitely. Unless they want a younger.
On that for whatever reason.
Unless they just want a younger.
Also Issa Rae played Spider-Woman in Spider-Verse.
Oh no, that's Madam Web. But I mean, well, Julia Carpenter's going to be a Madam Web, so.
Yeah. Oh, I told you, like I told you guys. Sony pulled a fast one by letting Toby and Andrew show up. And it blew it up, and they got all this interest in doing another Toby movie, another Andrew movie, and now they got Into the Spider-Verse and doing the live action spinning out of that. Sony pulled a fast one on them, and they're scrambling.
Sony, you're why we can't have nice things.
That's okay, as long as we keep the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
A1, Chef's Kiss, I don't care. MCU can suck it. I'm sorry.
I mean, in the comics,
and at this point, Marvel Comics can suck it too. Like,
whoa!
I have been slowly falling out of love. Like, I mean, God, did you look at this week? Like, it was a Star Wars. The whole family can suck it. It was a Star Wars week. Jesus.
I know one time a Star Wars comic accidentally fell into my foul. My guy pulls for me, and I'm like, I don't buy this. I've never bought into Star Wars. Get this out of here.
He's like, you got peanut butter in my chocolate. Get it out of here.
Literally,
I'm not that kind of nerd. Get it out of here.
I'm literally like, ew, what is this?
It's like, now for the Star Trek, you might have been able to tempt me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it was a rough week for Marvel as far as I'm concerned. Because, like, X-Men Before the Fall, Warlock, Rebirth #3.
I'm not even reading that because you know how I feel about Warlock.
I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about Storm #2. I have to give it a chance, but like Blowback, I can't take it. Like the villain name just threw me. I'm just giggling like Beavis and Butthead the whole time. I have to reroll.
I mean, it's
like Kitty Pryde's in it, and y'all know how I feel about Kitty Pryde, especially because she has said a certain slur. Canon, mind you.
I mean, it's Anne, but I think I don't know. Is it just that she has
a new love interest? I'm not ready for her to have a new love interest.
Well, oh yeah. I mean, just because she's trying to set it during.
It's just too much change.
She's trying to set it during the Claremont era, so.
Yeah, it's just too much change. I just wasn't ready for it. Like I enjoyed the first issue totally, but the second one, like, get Kitty Pryde out of there. I cannot enjoy Kitty Pryde and Storm in the same book. Like I don't like Kitty Pryde anymore. Like I haven't liked Kitty Pryde for a while.
I think at some point we're just gonna just for 1 week we're gonna have to do a classic version of Capes and Lunatics, and just so you can rant about comics.
You know what? Yeah. Probably at the end of the summer. I'll have a lot to say.
Oh, yes. We'll do like an end of the summer special or something. Yeah.
Ooh, are we doing anything for Comic-Con? I mean, it's not really worth talking about.
No, because most of the big companies aren't showing up.
Exactly. But although I'm so sad that I can't go because I grew up in that area. Like I grew up with Comic-Con. Like it was so different.
I would
better when we didn't have the corporate sponsors.
I would love
that. Alley is going to be freaking amazing.
I would love to go this year when there's not as many corporations and it's more comics based. I would love that.
Yeah, I am so bummed I can't do it this year, and I hope it kind of stays that way. Like it was just like such a special time.
Yeah.
And I would love to get back to that more intimate kind of thing. I would. Like, I think the comic book community needs it.
It needs to be separate. I mean, especially if you want to rebuild the genre back up. Yeah, you need to keep their own separate thing.
Outreach and like those really intimate, cool panels. Like, oh man, you should have been at this panel. It's not like and I love Supernatural, but Supernatural taking up Hall freaking H all the time.
Yeah,
not cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it does need I think that the San Diego Comic-Con does need a cultural reset. We need to get back to that intimate thing. We need more Star Trek and like, Star Wars, like real true nerd staples there. Not like freaking whatever's hot and popular and not,
exactly.
Not even tangentially related to comics.
Exactly. All right, I gotta go. I got another show to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go. Let's get out here and do the plug.
Per Rob Southgate's orders, I got another show to do. All right.
I'm used to having you all to myself, Philip.
I know. Sorry, I only gave you an hour and a half. Okay, kids. Yes, send us your thoughts. Oh, next time. I know we're doing Rocket Racer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing Spider-Man 172, I think 182 and 183. Yes. And then, like I said, the boys are back to cover the first 2 issues of Kane's Scarlet Spider series.
Mm-hmm. Have fun.
All right, so yes.
Oh, you will.
Oh, I will. All right, kids. So send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise, and the Patreon. Enter at your own risk. Find everything. Who don't entice them. Find it all at Linktree. Or not Linktree. I'm an old man. I have dementia. Find it all at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. And you know where to find Love Hellfire. SilverSableInternational.com.
All right. Hit the music.
And Facebook. All right, kids.
Let's flip and get out of here, man.
Thank you for joining us. Again, next week, we're going to go back in time, do some Rocket Racer. Spider Boys of Wells's. We're doing the Lord's work, kids. But until next time, swing on back.
Flip. Tell Marvel to stop being petty.